Hi, I'm Thomas, welcome back to my channel. This is part 5 in my Project Miss Writing series, and I just got back from work. I've got one more appointment today, and then I've got the rest of the day off and scheduled in for writing. I should probably also be working on my internship project, but we'll forget about that for today because I'm really excited to get back into my story. And I want to start off by saying that I sort of broke my rule. I'd agreed that I wouldn't go back and edit and that I wouldn't, delete anything. And I didn't delete anything, but I started a new document, sort of. I kind of started all over again. But I feel like it's for the better. I didn't write on Friday. I was supposed to work from 9 to 1 on Friday because I'm still reintegrating and I'm not working my full contract hours. But because some people called in sick, I thought, you know what, I can help out a bit, with medications and stuff like that. So I said, okay, I'll stay until 5. So I did that, and then I was in so much pain that I couldn't write. I basically couldn't do anything for all of Friday evening, and I also couldn't do anything on Saturday. So I did my dishes on Saturday, and that was too much. Like, I just got these I got this kind of stabbing pain in my chest. So even holding my phone and scrolling on my phone was uncomfortable. So I didn't write anything on those 2 days, but those 2 days did give me the thinking time that I needed. And I feel within the writing process, yes, it's important to write, and a lot of people benefit from getting into a rhythm of, for example, writing every day like I do. But I feel like we often forget and discredit the thinking time. Because writing a book is basically just putting your thoughts on paper. So if I don't give myself any thinking time, there aren't really any thoughts going on there that can go on paper. But I've got lots of thoughts. And I started a new document yesterday, and I'm already on chapter 2. I think I'm about 5 pages into this document. I'll check my word count later, but I'm no longer going to be focusing on word count or even the amount of pages I'm writing. I'm just really going to follow my character and see where he takes me. I'm kind of letting go of control right now. I'm just trusting the process, trusting my character, and just going with the flow. Which also means that if I feel like it, I might go back and read what I've written and kind of just pick it up from somewhere in the middle by like adding words or taking something out and rewriting something. It works for me because I rarely get into like full-on editing mode, but we'll see. As soon as it no longer serves me, I'm just going to stop it and I'm going to go back to regular drafting. It hasn't helped me back yet, and I actually had a huge epiphany, huge revelation while I was on my walk yesterday, and kind of like the story and my character's voice and everything just kind of unraveled in my mind. I don't feel like starting a new document and starting over new was the right decision, because I really feel like I'm getting closer and closer to my character's actual voice and who he is as a person. Which is amazing, love that, love seeing that. And I've decided that I'm going to do a word count update once a week, especially also because I'm doing Camp Nano. And I think I set my camp word count goal for 65,000 or 60,000, I kind of forgot. Obviously, I'm not actually trying to reach that number. I'd set that number thinking that I'd be somewhere around the 15k mark today, because I had started writing and I had planned on just continuing writing without deleting anything. So I'm probably going to need to revise that, but I'm just going to keep it as it is. And I'm going to update my word count every Monday evening. So you'll get a weekly word count update. Then we'll see. I'm actually really curious to know how many words I can actually write in a week, because my camp goal isn't word count related. My camp goal is writing related. Well, it's everything. Camp is writing, but what I mean to say by that is that my goal for Camp Nano is really to write every single day, even if it's just for a minute. Not even 5 minutes, just sit down and write like one word or one sentence, just 1 minute of writing. That is my goal for camp. And I've also got an update for my surgery. I'm probably going to get surgery on the 14th of February, which is sometime mid-February. It's a Friday morning. My surgery is scheduled for 11 a.m. But you know, you never know, there might be some external circumstances like people calling in sick or whatever that might delay that surgery date. But as of right now, my surgery date is set for the 14th of April, which gives me a great head start because I know that I probably won't be writing the first few days after surgery. The same thing happened to me last month with my chest surgery, where it was kind of hard to get back into that mental space because anesthesia it kind of messes with your mind. And fun fact for anyone who didn't know, one of the major reasons why elderly people often aren't operated on if they like break the hip or something after a certain age, I think after they're like 80 or something. Of course, there are all kinds of health related reasons and circumstances on why they might not operate. But one of the main reasons is actually that there is a higher chance of the patient waking up with dementia. So if you're over 80, you might want to think about getting surgery. There's a very high risk. Like even if you don't have any pre-stages of dementia or Alzheimer's, there's a very high chance that you're going to wake up with dementia. And I don't know the numbers on this. I don't know any percentages or anything, but from what I know, working in healthcare and especially working in elderly care, we see it happen all the time. So just a heads up. So, you know, anesthesia does a lot with the mind. It messes with your brain. And after surgery, I often have a hard time getting back into a mindset with writing, and not just writing, but also reading, which is why I barely read anything in March. I think I read back 3, maybe 4 books, which is odd for me. I like to read much more than that, but I had a very hard time getting back into reading. I think I didn't read anything for the first 2 weeks after my surgery. Anyways, I feel like this is enough for me for right now. I'm going to go back to writing and maybe do some studying for Korean, and then I'm headed off to my one and last appointment for today, and I'll see you in a bit.
오늘도 다시 너를 부른다. 걷다 보니까 저 멀리 두 손 가득히 널 엉기가 막을 탔다가 제가 돼버린 가슴이 아파온다. 우리가 걷다가 어떤 슬픈 노래 듣고 싶지도 않아 어렵네. 자꾸 네가 보고 싶다고 해. 아직 바라던 네가 오길 기도해요. 하고 싶은 말들이 너무 많아서 하나씩 적다 보니 가사가 되었어. 헤어짐보다 더 아픈 그리움으로 널 생각하며 쉽게 쓰여진 노래. 사랑했던 순간들을 정리한 타임라인 마치 한 씬 두 씬 영화 같아 결국에는 sad ending. 어두운 밤 달빛마저 깊이 잠들면 널 다시 그릴까. 아직 가끔씩 내 생각 떠오르면 이 노래 들어줄래. 떠나가는 자리에는 먹구름만 all day. 벼랑 끝에 홀로 너를 그려본다 all day. 눈물로 밤을 지새우는 중 나는 너랑 가슴거리로 태우는 중. 야 그러니까 네가 들으면 내게 그냥 돌아와도 아무 말도 안 하게. 야 미치도록 보고 싶어 죽겠네. 너를 위해 노래해. 하고 싶은 말들이 너무.
So I just got home and I was feeling a little anxious about starting writing, which for me is kind of normal. I'm trying to get over that anxiety, but I always like feel a bit of resistance to sitting down and write, even though as soon as I start writing, I'm all good. So I got my anxiety jar and I picked out a little snippet, a quote, motivational bit. I'm not sure if you can see that, but it says strive for progress, not perfection. And that is literally what I needed to hear, because as I've mentioned before, perfectionism really is the bane of my existence. And with this project, that's really all I'm striving for. I'm striving for progress. It can be as crap as it needs to be, and perfectionism is allowed to kick in during the editing stage, not right now. And to go with that, I actually bought a new book while I was out, because my appointment was in the city, so obviously I'm going to stop by the bookstore. Who wouldn't? I taught myself, like any good reader and writer does, right? I went into the bookstore thinking, you know what, I'm just going to look at what they have, which in my city isn't that odd of an expression, because the English section is literally just one small bookshelf. And so, you know, I didn't have high hopes of finding anything that I wanted to buy. But then I found this book, which I'm going to reveal in a bit, though I will need to censor it because of YouTube rules. And it was $10 cheaper than it is online. So I thought, you know, this is a steal. I'm just going to get it. And if anyone knows this, please tell me what you think of it down in the comments. I've already started reading it on page 54. Which, you know, crazy, I'm not the fastest reader. I actually really love the writing style of this, the way that it was written, and it's just, this encapsulates the mindset that I need to really embody while drafting. It's the subtle art of not giving a frick. Let's just say it like that. It's really good. I really like it, and I'm really, really looking forward to finishing this. And even though I don't like reading two books at the same time, I currently am, because I'm now reading this one, and I'm also reading The Swifts. But I feel like I'm going to finish this one sooner than The Swifts, which is odd because this is not fiction, and usually I'm faster with fiction, because I'm still reading The 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. And I started that like 2 months ago. So normally it takes me longer to finish quote-unquote self-help books. I'm about to go back to writing, and I actually just deleted everything that I wrote before I went to my appointment, mainly because it was just all telling, and it was in my voice, it wasn't even the character's voice, just me thought dumping, you know, kind of background information that doesn't need to be there. So yeah, see you in a bit. I'm literally to be exact, I am 3,924 words into this draft. I'm only on chapter 2, but I am on page 7. I'm not sure what that would be in like paperback pages. But I'm on page 7, so I've written 7 pages in 2 days. And honestly, I am so glad that I sat down to write, because my anxiety, and you know, I'm trying to reword that. I'm no longer trying to associate the anxiety with being a part of me, so let's rephrase that. Because of anxiety, I nearly quit for today. Because I knew that what I'd written before I went out for my appointment had to be scratched. None of that was usable. and I didn't feel good about it, didn't resonate with the character. And it was really discouraging because I felt like that just went to show that I'm not a good writer. Which is ridiculous because like the tiniest things can set off that imposter syndrome voice in my head. And there's a quote that I love. I have no idea where it came from, but it's literally my go-to quote currently to get myself out of that headspace. And it basically says, fear and anxiety shout, intuition whispers. Which means when your head gets really, really loud, don't listen to it, because 99% of the time, that's just your fear talking. So I'm glad I listened to that little voice in my head that was like, just sit down, just write. Just write, you know? Progress, not perfection. And I'm so glad I did, because in the hour that I've written, because I've only been writing for about an hour. I can check later like how long I've actually been writing, but I think it's about an hour, and I wrote 1.5k words. Like that's incredible, and that is the speed that I'm used to writing in, which to me is like this major sign that I am in the character's head right now. I am in his mindset, I'm in his world. And the words are just flowing. The words are just flowing. It also helps that I know where I'm going. But yes, very excited, very happy, super excited to figure out what the second act is going to be like, because I've got no idea. I know that I'm going to be writing something slightly traumatic in a bit, but that's the push into two. You know, it's got to push my character out of his comfort zone. And we'll see where he takes me. We'll see where the story takes me. Yeah, I'm really excited. This is a mini celebration. I'm going to take a short break now and wait for Julie. She's grabbing something to eat, and then we're going to dive into some sprints. I'm probably only going to do one sprint, maybe two, depends on how far I get. I really want to keep going and finish off Act 1, because I'm so close. I'm so close to finishing Act 1, and I really feel like this is what I've been working up towards these past 2 weeks, where I just kind of felt I was trudging along and nothing was making sense, and I wasn't connecting to my character, and I was just feeling a lot of resistance. And this is coming out so easy. So it's just flowing. It's flowing, and I'm loving it. I'm really happy.
빗줄이는 너의 두 눈동자여 지난 모든 기억들을 지워줘 짙어진 안개 사이로 멀리 떠나온 길 시린 흔적만을 남긴 채 기억 끝을 잡아봐도 끝내 오래 더 오래 깊은 침묵에 잠들어 Oh now holding this pain 모든 걸 버린 그날처럼
It is definitely time for bed. I just finished a sprint with Julie, and I'm kind of sad that I only got to do one sprint with her, but it is currently 10:30 and my alarm goes off at 5. Like it's not like I have to get up at 5 because I need to be at work at 7. It's more because I like to do some things like writing before I go to work, which is why my alarm goes off at 5. But I do a lot of writing right now, so, you know, it evens out, I'll probably get up at 6. For the word count, though, I am now at a total of 4,576 words. And I'm not yet in, my goal was, or I had hoped to break into 2. I haven't yet, and I think it'll probably be another chapter or so before I actually break into 2, but the mystery portion of this novel, because it's sort of a mystery, fantasy, historical middle grade book, the mystery section of this book has been established, which also, side note, is like literally the title of the book, and so excited. Okay, but I'm loving where I am, and I'm so excited to continue writing tomorrow. And I really hope that I can keep this momentum going throughout this week and the next week before my surgery, because I will have a writing slump shortly after surgery, especially because I need to stay at hospital for a night. So I probably won't be doing any writing that night. I might do some writing before my surgery, depending on how nervous I am, because I am traveling there by train and I will be going all on my own. Which, you know, is always a bit nerve-wracking, going to have surgery all by yourself, but that's okay. I'll survive. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up and leave a comment down below on how your writing journey is going, and if you're struggling with anything, or if you've got any milestones that you'd like to share, any celebrations that you'd like to share. I love hearing about other people's writing journeys, so please do tell me about how it's going for you, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!
여기지